All right, good afternoon. Welcome to Regular Dose of Be Refreshed Life Edition. And man, I'm glad you're here. We're going to spend just a little bit of time. We've been walking through, if you've been journeying with us, we're learning how to let life get better. That's the great question that we can ask ourselves almost in any situation. There's a couple of questions that I think are powerful to ask when you're just trying to figure out what to do. One is this the wisest thing to do? It's a great question, right? Just to ask that question. Hey, is this the wisest thing to do? What I'm about to do here, what I'm about to say here, is it the wisest thing to do? The second thing is, how can I let this situation get better? Whatever situation I find myself in, how can I let it get better? And so these are the topics that we're looking at, and we're building it around kind of the seven values that all of us deal with. Right? We all deal with our faith and wanting to grow it and asking ourselves, how can I let that get better? We all want to grow better in our family, right? We want to. How can I let my family get better? My marriage, my brother, sister, my mom and dad, my children, my nieces, nephews, all of that. How can I let my friendships get better? What thing could I do to let my friendships get better? We ask the same question in the area of our fitness. What can I do to let my life get better? We looked at that last week. We can also ask questions like, hey, what can I do to let my field, where I work, that passion, how can I let that get better? How can I let it get better in the area of fun? How can I just improve that aspect of life? And then this week, we've been looking at this one. How can I let life get better in the area of finances? Now, as we said yesterday, which we kind of just launched into this thing, few things create more stress than money. Isn't that right? I mean, you think about it, it's just one of those. Those are the kind of things that will wake you up at like 2 o'clock in the middle of the night, wondering about how I'm going to get out of this or what I'm going to do that. And every time you begin to pay the bills, there's this sinking feeling. If you're like the average American, those are what's going on. And so what we've talked about was there three ways in which money is used in our life, right? We spend money, we save money, and we give money. That should be the balance that we're after. If we're heavy on the spending, then we're probably light in saving and light in giving. And if we're heavy on the saving, then we're probably a little light in the giving area, potentially in the area of just of enjoying life with the money. Money is meant to be our servant, right? Not we don't want to become a slave to money. We don't want to put our hope in money. The scriptures speak of that. Let those who are rich in this present world not put their hope in money, which is fleeting, but to be rich. I mean, but to be generous and willing to give. And so there's this concept that money is something that is a tool for us to use to help others, right? That, and we don't talk about that. We'll look at that as we get to the giving side of money. But money's never to be our servant. Is to be our master, but our servant. We talk about money. We talk about this. Practically speaking, we want margin in our life, right? Isn't that what most of us want? We want that margin. I want to know that when I've paid all my bills, I got a little bit of cash. If I want to give it away, I can. If I want to save it. But assuming that we've already budgeted those things in, then that margin lets me do so many rich things with it. I can spend it on one of those little guilty pleasures. I can spend it on helping someone else get along in life. I can choose to invest that money too. There's all kind of things that we can do with that, but we have to let margin begin to create and develop in our life. So one of the things we talked about yesterday was how fast can you put $1,000 up? How how freeing would that be to have $1,000 cash somewhere where you can have access to it? Not easy access, so you just grab it to go do whatever, but there when you have a need. So we looked at that yesterday. Today I want to focus on spending, and we won't look at lengthy time of this, but spending. Those are those things that we spend our money on a regular basis, right? So there's our mortgage, our rent, whatever it is you have. There's your car payment if you have one of those. There's your food. There's your bills, all the power, electric, all of that. Then there's your if you use credit cards, then you've got those bills coming. If you're a member of a club or whatever, you got those bills doing. And then you're going to watch TV and all of those things. And if you're going to watch movies, and you can see how it can grow big. The issue is, are those things really becoming a master to you? And so when we think of that area of our spending, we ask ourselves this: how can I let that get better? Several months ago now, maybe a year, Tammy and I sat down. We just looked at everything where our money was going, every area, and there were some things. You know how you can get into something and all of a sudden you realize that something's coming out of your account and it's like $3.99 a month or $4.99 a month. Maybe during the Christmas season you logged into that Hallmark channel and you signed up for all those Christmas movies so you could just enjoy that, and you forgot to turn that off, and so you're going, now that's $4.99 a month. Or your cloud service, you need a little more, and all of the little areas, and we just begin to just chop brutally, just cut all those things out. We actually cut out cable because we just felt like that was just not something that we're not the people that sit around and watch TV. And so we ask ourselves, how can we let that get better? There were some things that we let go. And so let's just talk about a few things today real quick, and then I'll let you go. But let's talk about toys, right? How many, not just our kids' toys, but really, when we think about it, you think about how many toys the average American kid has, and it's an overabundance. They have more toys than a lot of countries in the world have in one of the toy stores, right? We have infinite amount of Legos and infinite amount of all of those kind of things, and so we ask ourselves, would that money have been better spent on experiences with our kids, as opposed to giving our kids a trinket, something that they're just going to toss around? And so we begin to ask questions like that, and it changes things. To know the difference between like toys and the necessities, right? There's certain necessities we have to have. So we make decisions on that. When it comes to buying a car, and look, some of you can afford to go out and buy a brand new car and all that. We're in the process of getting a car now. And so the question is, do I go get this new car, and what's that going to do to my budget? Or what will it do to my savings, because we're going to pay cash? So how draining will that be? Do I really want that? Do I really want to go get a 2021, or would we be all right with a 2018, 2016, 2012 if your budget, 2003, whatever your budget? Ask yourself that question: is this really the wisest thing to do? Will this help me let life get better? And so we begin to evaluate those things like that. And I would tell you that you should always choose experiences over stuff. So if that bigger mortgage, or that bigger car note, or that whatever it is going to really lessen your opportunity to experience life, and by that I mean hanging out with friends at dinner, taking a vacation, whatever those things are, having money to buy a kayak so you can go do those things. Really, those are the kind of things that you should analyze. So where are you in that? And distinguishing between needs and wants. What's your cash to debt ratio? Are you in debt? How better life could be if we just got out of debt and took all that money and put in savings, or used it when we wanted some necessity? And so these are the things I want us to think about. So as we work through, these are the things that we're coming up on as we work through our ULA app. That I've been sharing with you about. It's a lifestyle framework, right, to help people with balance, growth, and purpose. So we start with where we are. There's an honest evaluation. This is what we're doing now. Hey, where are you? Let's be honest. Where are you? That's not a reflection on who you are. It just tells you where you are. So where are you? And then where would you like to be? And when we can begin to dream that blueprint, we're going to be drawn to it. Everything in us begins to draw us toward that vision of a healthy financial situation. And so that's what we want. And so we've been working through this app around those 7 things, and I just wanted to share these things with you. So as we go through this, and we're going to talk about 3 components of this. We're going to talk about spending, we're going to talk about saving, we're going to talk about giving. When you balance those 3 together, I want you to think of a number that you're going to put on that, just like you do with fitness. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, financially, here's where I am. Just be honest and learn where that is, all right? And then what we'll do is we'll meet back here tomorrow and Thursday and kind of talk about the other 2, and then we'll just keep doing this till we work ourselves around that. If you'd like to get the app and join me and Tammy in this, I put a link in the post here. You can at least look at it and see if that's something you want to do. We're totally good anyway. We're just journeying through it and thinking you may want to do that as well. So, all right, enough of this. Man, Lord bless you. Go do something good today. Enjoy your evening, and Lord willing, I'll see you right back here tomorrow afternoon.